Greetings everyone, welcome to a brand new JetPunk quiz video. Today I'm going to be putting my history general knowledge to the test. So I've been doing a standard general knowledge playlist, working through that. I also did a couple of geography general knowledge videos, but I consider history to be one of my stronger subjects. Those of you who've seen me on Brady or Tudor, I do pretty well on history questions in general, so I'm interested to see how I stack up against these. And if you'd like to see me do more of these, as always, let me know in the comments and drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, because there are 17 quizzes in this playlist, and I'm not going to get through all of them in this video, so it would be fun to play through the rest if that's something you guys would like to see. Who started the Protestant Reformation? That's Martin Luther from the quiz thumbnail. Which British king suffered from dementia during the last 10 years of his 60-year reign? Is this just George III? It is. Who was the first person to see the moons of Jupiter? So they're referred to as the Galilean moons. They're Ganymede, Callisto, Europa, and Io. But anyway, it's Galileo is the guy. In what country did the fascist movement start in 1919? This one I'm not sure. I thought Spain, but no. I mean, it could just be Germany. It's not. Italy? It is Italy. Okay, that also makes sense. What Viking group settled in France before conquering England, Sicily, and Malta? It's like the Knights Templar, probably. Oops. Knights Hospitaller? Oh, no. Viking group. Well, but like Malta. I think like the Knights of Malta. Like, I associate Malta with like, I guess that's the Knights Hospitaller, but like, it's not, apparently. But it's Vikings? Normans? Oh, okay. Really? They conquered Sicily and Malta? I did not know that. What group sacked Baghdad in 1258, ending the Islamic Golden Age? The Mongols? It is. Which city did Rome fight against in the Punic Wars? That's Carthage. What chemical weapon used in World War I got its name from the yellow-brown appearance? Gives me blank gas. It should be mustard gas. Who famously said, "I am not a crook," in a 1973 speech? It's a famous quote from Richard Nixon. Who supposedly fiddled while Rome burned, but actually didn't? It's Emperor Nero. What father and son prime ministers are referred to as the elder and the younger? Is it William Pitt? Good. Nice. That's not easy, unless you're, like, British, but yeah, I guess William Pitt the Younger, like, that's just a name that's in my head. What important 19th century fertilizer came from bird or bat droppings? Should be guano. Who is the namesake of the country of Bolivia? Of course, Simon Bolivar. What epic poem is thought to be the oldest in the English language? I assume you want Beowulf. I mean, it's written in Old English. Yeah. What ancient empire was led by Xerxes, Cyrus, and Darius? That's the Achaemenid Empire, or Persian. What empire had its capital at Tenochtitlan? That's the Aztecs in Mexico, modern-day Mexico. What does the name Stalin mean in Russian? Man of Steel. It does, actually. Wow, okay. I don't know. I saw Man of Blank and my brain went to Superman, but I didn't know that. That's interesting. In what war was Washington, D.C. burned? That's the War of 1812. Which member of the Ba'ath Party was executed in 2006? Ba'athism, is it like Saddam Hussein? It is. And what country employed Molotov cocktails to resist Soviet invasion in 1939? First thought was Finland. It is Finland. Let's go. Nice. Okay, I actually didn't expect to get 100% on this. I mean, I didn't know what questions were coming, but again, I'm not as good at history as I am at geography, so that's still, I mean, that's a very solid result. I will take that. Not super easy. William Pitt, the hardest there. Not a surprise at all. That definitely seemed to me like the hardest, but hey, that's a very good start. So yeah, apparently my history general knowledge is pretty good. Maybe the word general isn't even correct here, just history knowledge. But anyway, we'll see if I can keep that up. I'll probably split into 3 videos. Maybe do 6 in this one, 6 in the next, and 5 in the last, something like that. But we'll see if we can keep up the perfect run. Make sure we're recording and audible. We are. So, quiz 2. What was the name of King Louis XIV's palace? That is Versailles. What was the Democratic Republic of the Congo called between 1971 and 97? That is Zaire. What Italian adventurer wrote about his 24-year journey from Venice to China and back? Marco Polo. What sport was Henry VIII participating in when he suffered a serious leg injury? This is jousting. From what Latin title are the words Tsar and Kaiser derived? Presumably Caesar or Caesar. What Mexican general is known for raiding the United States and distributing land to the poor? First thought was Pancho Villa. It is Pancho Villa. Good. I didn't actually realize that's what he did. What empire did Greece gain its independence from in 1830? It's got to be the Ottomans. Who is said to have gained enlightenment while sitting under the Bodhi tree? That is the Buddha, or Siddhartha Gautama. What volcano destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum? That's, of course, Vesuvius. What Greek genius is said to have leapt out of the bathtub crying Eureka after making a discovery? Famous story about Archimedes. For what crime was Al Capone convicted and sent to prison in 1931? Uh-oh. Racketeering. Crime... Embezzlement. Oh, God. Honestly, I have no idea. I should. Murder. Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to that one. Who ruled the Austrian Empire for almost 68 years before his death in 1916? Is this just Franz Ferdinand? No, because 1916... That's like 2 years after the start of World War I. Franz Josef? It is Franz Josef, okay. Who is the I guess Archduke versus, like, Emperor or whatever is a difference. Who is the father of the modern country of Turkey? That's Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. What favorite of Queen Elizabeth tried to colonize Virginia and also popularized smoking in the English court? Oh, dear. Tried to colonize Virginia. Jeez. John Rolfe. John Smith. I'm just naming, like, Pocahontas people. I don't think I'm anywhere close here. Favorite of Queen Elizabeth. Tried to colonize Virginia. I don't know what's going on here. What was the primary language of the Byzantine Empire? Greek, I guess. What country was led by Haile Selassie? That's Ethiopia. What religious movement views Haile Selassie as the second coming of Jesus? That is Rastafari. What city was Abraham Zapruder? Oh, wait, I've heard of this guy. Who is this guy? Living in on November 22nd, 1963. Wait, November 22nd, 1963 is the JFK assassination, so it is Dallas. Who is Zapruder? I'm not actually sure who that is. You'll have to let me know. What country was ruled by King James I of England before he became King of England? Probably Scotland. And what young pharaoh's tomb was discovered in 1922? That's Tutankhamun. So, favorite of Queen Elizabeth, popularized smoking. I mean, I don't know. Like, who's another? It's not like James, right? Jamestown. That's a river. Trying to think of other like colonial people, and it's not really happening for me, unfortunately. Al Capone. Fraud. I don't know, I could keep guessing random things, but I'll just give up and see what it is. Tax evasion, yeah, like I was kind of dancing around it. And then Sir Walter Raleigh, that's gettable. I didn't remember that he existed, but that's definitely a knowable one. Okay, so not so bad. I mean, 18 out of 20 is still a solid score. See how hard those were. Oh, wow. Really? 63% on tax evasion? That's surprisingly high, actually, but I guess I said fraud and not tax fraud, which is my fault for doing that. And then Raleigh was at 33, which, not the hardest, but still pretty hard. But Pancho Villa and Franz Josef were quite hard, so pretty happy with that result anyway, I think. 38 out of 40 is pretty darn good. Quiz number 3. What empire based in Cusco once controlled much of the Andes? That's the Inca Empire. Who is said to have cut the Gordian knot? Alexander the Great. What word starting with S refers to the noble warrior caste of feudal Japan? Samurai. What country imported an estimated 4 million slaves before finally banning slavery in 1888? My thought was Brazil. Good. Who invented the printing press in Europe? It's Gutenberg. What product did Gandhi march to the sea to obtain? The Salt March. What trade did the Dutch East India Company dominate in 17th and 18th centuries? Probably the spice trade. Good. Who captained the Golden Hind on the second circumnavigation in world history? That's Sir Francis Drake. What island chain did Darwin visit that inspired his theory of natural selection? The Galapagos. What island chain did Captain Cook discover before being killed by the people who already lived there? Hawaii? Sandwich Islands? Yep. Who held the title of Generalissimo as leader of Spain from 1939 to 75? This just came up in a previous video. This is Francisco Franco. What ancient kingdom was ruled by King Nebuchadnezzar II? Babylon. Who famously had children with both Julius Caesar and Mark Antony? Probably Cleopatra. The 7th? I think it's the 7th anyway, just Cleopatra. Who said, "Honey, I forgot to duck," after being shot in 1981? I think that's a Reagan quote. Good. What location in Greece was home to the most well-known oracle of Apollo? It's the Oracle of Delphi, or the Pythia. What city was led by a doge? Venice. What Christian city was sacked during the Fourth Crusade? I would guess Jerusalem. Was it Christian? No. Uh-oh. Christian city. Constantinople. There we go. Who commissioned the Doomsday Book to survey his conquests? That is William the Conqueror. What did Alfred Nobel invent? Most famously, dynamite. And what Native American confederacy is composed of 6 tribes, including the Mohawk and Seneca? I can only name one confederacy. It's the Iroquois. I assume that's correct, and it is. And another 20 out of 20. I mean, this is honestly going well than better than I thought. I can't speak, but at least I can still get questions right. Hardest question in there, Iroquois, or is Iroquois? I don't know which it is, but either way, 27%, pretty low, so I'll take that. And yeah, solid again. Okay, quiz 4. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? That is, of course, Michelangelo. What plot was Guy Fawkes involved in? It's called the Gunpowder Plot. What did 18th century men commonly wear that was powdered and white? A wig, I guess. Yep. What beverage was first consumed in Yemen in the 1400s AD? Presumably coffee. City of Mocha gives its name to Mocha. City of Mocha is in Yemen, to be clear. What Pakistani river valley was home to one of the world's most advanced civilizations in 2000 BC? It's the Indus River Valley Civilization, or Harappan Civilization. What brutal execution method was used on the compatriots of Spartacus? I do not know. Brutal execution method. Stoning. Spartacus. Crucifixion? There we go. Who was the first lady of the U.S. from 1933 to 1945? It's Eleanor Roosevelt. What great Frankish king was crowned emperor on Christmas Day, 800 AD? Probably Charlemagne. What crop was king in the U.S. South prior to the Civil War? I would think cotton. Good. What country was historically known as Abyssinia? It's the old name for Ethiopia. What city had a liberal spring in 1968 that was crushed by Soviet tanks? Prague Spring. Good. I first thought Arab Spring. I was like, this is not where we are. What, according to cliche, did Roman rulers give to the common people in order to appease them? Blank and circuses. Thank you for giving me half of that. It's bread and circuses. I would not have known that if it hadn't given me half the phrase. I just know that's a phrase that exists because it's in, like, the game Civilization, but it works. By what name is Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov better known as? What? Oh, that's a very interesting one. What in the world? Who's a Russian person who's known by another name? Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov. Who the heck is that? Trotsky. Rasputin. Stalin. Lenin. It is Lenin. Wow. I didn't know that wasn't his name. In what empire were Armenians the victims of genocide from 1915-17? We're back in the Ottoman Empire. What ancient kingdom had capital cities at different times in Thebes and Memphis? These are Egyptian cities. Well, they were. Who is sometimes credited with inventing the hang glider, the parachute, and the diving suit? My thought is Da Vinci here. Good. What disease was eradicated in 1979? Most famous eradication is smallpox. Good. What Parisienne was the first person to win multiple Nobel Prizes? Nobel. Why did I say Nobel? Marie Curie. What city was formerly known as Edo? That's Tokyo. And what is the name for a Viking warrior who supposedly fought in a trance-like, nearly uncontrollable fury? This is called a berserker. And another 20 out of 20. This is, okay, I'll be honest. I was not expecting to be at 78 out of 80 here. I mean, the geography playlist, I went, I think, what, 319 out of 320? But, like, this, I'm honestly not that far behind on history, which is kind of crazy, because I don't study as much history as I do geo, but I guess it is kind of inextricably linked, so sort of makes sense that I'm good at both. But, yeah, nothing super hard on that quiz. Crucifixion is the hardest, but it's only at 36, so a little bit softer, I think, difficulty-wise, that one. And we'll go to quiz number 5. I think I'll stop at 6 in this video. To what country were 165,000 British convicts transported from 1787 to 1867? Is it Australia? Yep. What country was formerly known as Siam? Can't type. Thailand. Who sent a telegram from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903? Kitty Hawk is the Wright brothers thing, so probably just the Wright brothers. Orville Wright, specifically, apparently. What Jewish banking family rose from the Frankfurt ghetto to become unimaginably wealthy? Is this what Rothschild is? Nice. That's not easy. I think that's a tough one. What religious order was founded by Ignatius of Loyola to reform the Catholic Church? This is the Jesuits. What country's civil war was depicted in Picasso's painting Guernica? Picasso is Spanish, so it is in fact Spain. What secret society traces its origins to medieval stoneworkers? Illuminati? Oh, actually, no, it's probably the Freemasons, because Mason, right? Stoneworker. What Russian empress notoriously had affairs with many different men? That is Catherine the Great. What 1969 music festival in upstate New York is sometimes considered to be the zenith of the hippie movement? Woodstock. What is the most popular sport that was invented in Scotland? Scotland. Goodness. Gosh, can I even name a sport that was invented in Scotland? Am I being silly here? It's not like darts or something, is it? No, gosh, what? Invented in Scotland. I think Scottish sports, all I think of is like the Highland Games and stuff, but that doesn't make any sense. So, is it ever like rugby or cricket? I don't have any idea. Hurling? That's Irish, right? Huh. Not sure. What puritanical English ruler is often blamed for banning Christians? Or Christmas. I don't know this either, actually. Mary, Elizabeth, freaking Edward, James. I just keep guessing names. George, Charles. Goodness me. William. Well, that's unfortunate. Banning Christmas. I genuinely don't know. Anne? Did I try Mary? Wow. Huh. I don't know. Henry, ever? No, okay, fine. Richard? Gosh. What unit of British currency was equal to 1/20th of a pound? Shilling? Good. What sport would an ancient Roman watch at a hippodrome or a circus? Probably chariot racing. Good. What Union general adopted a scorched earth policy on his march to the sea through the American South? March to the Sea is Sherman. William Tecumseh Sherman. What was the nickname of Louis XIV? He's the Sun King. The supreme commander of the Allied forces that invaded Normandy in 1944. Oh, no. Is it MacArthur? No. Who is it? Pershing? Oh, God. This is the thing with, like, generals. I know the names of a bunch of them, and I can never remember, like, which guy did what. Like, MacArthur was, like, Korean War, I think, but... It might not even be American, actually. Is it, like, de Gaulle? Or... It's not like Churchill or something, is it? I don't know. What famous train ran once between Paris and Istanbul? It's the Orient Express. What is the spontaneous World War I ceasefire that happened in late 1914? Blank truce. Ah, this is such a thing. What is this called? Uh, nah, this is famous, but I'm not going to remember the name of it, unfortunately. What term is given to the British rule of India from 1858 to 1947? It's British Raj. And who did Friedrich Engels famously work with? Karl Marx on the Communist Manifesto and probably other things as well. Well, this didn't go quite as well as the other ones. This feels harder, but maybe it's just hitting all my weak spots. I feel like I guessed all the English ruler names, a lot of them at least, and none of them worked. But I probably just missed an obvious one. Supreme commanded the Allied forces that invaded Normandy. Is this easy? It's probably easy. But I cannot think of who it would be. It's not like Pétain, is it? No, I don't even know who he is. He's a some French general, but maybe he's like the Indochina guy. I don't remember. Golf. Oh, golf. Oh no, that's so easy. No. Oh God. No, yeah, golf. Of course. What? How did I forget that? Like St. Andrews. Like, I have no idea how I forgot that golf was. That's like very well known, and I do know that. Like, I know that golf was invented in Scotland. It's funny how your brain just like fails sometimes to think of obvious things. Like, what? Of course it's golf. Oliver Cromwell makes sense, although I guess I don't think of him as a ruler. I guess I don't know what a Lord Protector is. I just know that he's a Lord Protector, and I guess maybe that is a ruler, but I don't know what the difference is. So I was thinking it was like a monarch, so I wasn't going to guess Oliver Cromwell. Oh, it's Dwight Eisenhower. Oh man, and the Christmas truce. Yeah, like I've definitely that's come up before, and I just didn't remember what it was called. And then Eisenhower. I mean, that makes sense. I knew he was in the military, but I guess I didn't know what his role was, and now I do. That's oops. Probably should have known that. So that was not the prettiest performance ever, but again, I have to get some things wrong, so you guys can yell at me in the comments for it. So this was the quiz for that, apparently. I got 2 wrong in the first 4 quizzes and then 4 wrong in quiz 5. So apparently Rothschild is not hard. 55%. I'm actually surprised by that. I honestly thought that was tough, but apparently not. Christmas truce was 66. That's, yeah, not a great look. Golf at 60, that makes sense. And then Eisenhower and Cromwell, also not that hard. I mean, the 3 hardest questions on the quiz were all ones that I got. I'm kind of shocked that Orville Wright is only at 40%, but I guess it's just American bias, knowing what Kitty Hawk is. Okay, let's do one more. See if I can do better than 16 out of 20, at least. Who is said to have committed suicide by letting an asp bite her? This is, once again, Cleopatra, who was the wife of Louis XVI of France. That is Marie Antoinette. What modern-day country is the origin of Chaturanga, the ancestor of the board game chess? I think it's from Iran. It's not. Is it India, then? Okay. Muhammad was born in Mecca. Where did he die? Medina, I assume. On what famous statue is it written, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses"? Is it the Statue of Liberty? I should really know that, but I wasn't actually sure. What city marked the easternmost point of Napoleon's conquests? Oh, that's interesting. City, huh? How far did he go? Oh, dear. Wow. I actually have no idea. Moscow? It is Moscow. Nice. I just knew that I knew that War and Peace by Tolstoy was about the Napoleonic Wars, so I was like, I guess he got to Russia. So there you go. What caused the population of Johannesburg, Melbourne, and San Francisco to explode at different times in the 19th century? Surely we're talking about gold rushes. On what ship did English sailors mutiny against Captain Bligh? This is the Bounty, mutiny on the Bounty. What stick-thin model became a symbol of swingin' 60s London? Holy crap. I have no idea. Should I know this? I have no idea who this is. What ancient Mediterranean language was the first to develop a sound-based alphabets? Phoenician? Nice. What Russian princess murdered in 1918 did many imposters claim to be? Is this who Anastasia is? Good. What Japanese word meaning divine wind was given to the suicide pilots in World War II? Kamikaze. In what city did Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier have a thrilling fight? Is this the Rumble in the Jungle? Are we doing Kinshasa? No, we are not. Las Vegas. Thrilling. Why is thrilling in quotes? What's the catch here? Why is it in quotes? New York, Los Angeles. I mean, I could just guess cities, but I don't understand what the thrilling is about. I thought it was the Rumble in the Jungle, but apparently that's a different thing. So maybe that's it's like George Foreman, and I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know anything about boxing. It's just not interesting to me. Whose advisors included Sir Thomas More, Cardinal Wolsey, and Thomas Cromwell? Oh gosh, Henry VIII, is it? Good. What term was given to a person who was forced to row the oars of a ship? Blank slave. What? Rowing slave. What? Pirate slave? Huh? I don't know this either. Man, these are getting harder. What notable person was born near the Nepal-India border around 500 BC? Oh, it's in Lumbini. Wow, that's crazy. I wrote about this yesterday. My daily subdivision yesterday in Discord was Lumbini, but it's the Buddha. What was the last name of power couple Eva and Juan? Perón of Argentina. What became the 50th U.S. state in 1959? That is Hawaii. What type of money was first used in the 11th century in China? Paper money. And then what drug did Sigmund Freud recommend as a pain reliever, stimulant, and nasal decongestant? I believe it's cocaine. What a guy he was. Okay, so I don't think I'm getting the model. Person who was forced to row the oars of a ship. Should I know this? Like, I don't know what this is going for. I don't know. And then thrilling fight. I don't know. Paris, London. Like, this could be anything. What does thrilling mean? There's something that I'm missing here. I don't know. Twiggy. Who the heck is that? Manila and galley slave. Honestly, those are all pretty hard. Manila, like, that's something I should know. I still don't know why it's thrilling, like, the Manila Thrilla or something. I don't know what it's called. It's probably something like that, but the thriller in Manila. Like, I don't know what we're going for here, but, I mean, I guess I can look it up, can't I? Thrilla and there you go. That's apparently what it was called. Like I don't even know what the heck that is, but I just was able to kind of put it together. And I guess yeah. I guess you saw everything else in my browser, so now you know what you might know what's coming up, but yeah, lots more videos to look forward to. So stay tuned. All right. So how do we do here? 46% on Manila, 44 on Twiggy, and 23 on Galley Slave. Apparently Twiggy isn't that hard. I mean, I don't know. I have no clue who that is, but fair enough. So yeah, I missed a lot of the hard ones and got the easier ones on that quiz. So yeah, those felt like they got harder, but we'll see if quizzes 7 and onward are like that, or if they pivot easier again, or maybe I just got lucky with what I knew in the first 4 or so. But anyway, that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that video as well. Let me know what types of quizzes you want me to try. As always, I'm happy to give anything a go. But yeah, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.